Welcome to the Beyonder strategy card game. I am Lord Golden Knight, the leader of the Knights of Solaris. The Beyonder strategy card game is a two-player game where you, as the player, take charge as a general, leading an army of spacefaring warriors, deadly alien creatures, and godly beings in a battle to gain the power of the Lord of the Cosmos.
Before we jump into it, let me fill you in on the key card types, General. There are 4 types of cards. Your base card represents your home base and a place to gather and hold resources for recruiting other cards. The base also acts as your hit points, so be careful and protect it at all costs.
The next type of card is known as a unit card. Unit cards represent powerful warriors that will fight on your behalf. Each unit has an energy cost and a play requirement based on your faction of choice. Each unit also has a power number and a vitality number, representing their health. Units also have special abilities that can help in the fight ahead.
The next card is called a relic card. Relics represent powerful weapons and artifacts that make your unit stronger or help you stay alive longer by making defensive measures for your base. They all possess an energy cost and a play requirement. Relics are permanent cards that remain in play until they are destroyed by another card effect. Weapons attach to units and remain attached until the unit or the weapon itself is destroyed.
And now for my favorite card type, power cards. Power cards are cards that represent powerful spells, buffs, and countermeasures that your army can utilize to fight back against enemy forces. Power cards possess an energy cost and a play requirement, and can be played at any time. Once a power card is used up, it's sent to the void, never to be used again.
Now that you know the different card types, let's show you how a game works step by step. Onward!
Each player will start by shuffling their deck and placing it in the deck zone. Then each player will place their base card in the base card zone. Now each player will draw 7 cards. Each player has 1 chance to mulligan by placing the cards in their hand back in their deck and drawing a new hand of 7 cards. Then both players will decide who goes first.
Now, each player will begin their first turn. Each player starts by drawing a card during the draw phase. However, the player who goes first will not draw a card. Then the player will proceed to the resource phase. The player will then receive a single energy cell for their energy reserve. Then every turn, the player will receive 1 energy cell and multiply that by what turn the player is on, up to a maximum of 10 energy. Then that player will proceed to the ready phase. The player will ready all units or relics that were exhausted during the previous turn. However, this will not happen on the first turn.
Now after all that is said and done, the player will enter the staging phase. This phase is when players can recruit units and relics from their hand or deploy power cards. Remember, when recruiting a unit, power card, or relic, follow the energy cost and play requirement at the top right corner of the card. Play requirements are shown with a colored orb that matches the color of the card's faction frame, and a number saying how many units of that faction are required to play it.
I hope your blood's boiling because it's time for the combat phase. The player whose turn it is will be the attacker. The attacker selects any unit they desire to be deployed to combat by turning the card sideways. This is known as exhausting a unit. Units that were recruited during the turn cannot be sent to combat or use their abilities. This is called training. Once deployed units are selected, the opponent can select to intercept the opposing units. The opponent selects any number of units to intercept and exhausts them. Each unit can only intercept 1 unit at a time. Now those units will enter the damage step of combat. The units will compare their power and vitality stats. If a unit possesses higher power than another unit's vitality, that unit will kill the opposing unit and send it to the void. The unit with the lowest power will then deal damage to the opposing unit's vitality, then the damage is marked and is permanent. If both units have even stats, they kill each other and are sent to the void together. Any units not intercepted during combat will deal damage equal to their power to the enemy base card. Once 100 damage has been dealt to the enemy base, the game is over.
Now that little skirmish has ended, It's now time for the cleanup and end phases. The cleanup phase will allow a player to play any cards not yet played, and pay any cost for abilities or deploy power cards. The player will then end their turn and pass the turn to the other player, like a good knight should.
Now that you know how the game works, it's time to suit up, rookie. The Beyond Lands await. The battle for the power of gods is ahead, and we need you.
Beyonders, strategy card game.
An adventure beyond the stars.